In the heart of the ancient world, where gods ruled over the four corners of the earth, legends speak of rivers flowing from the center of creation to the four directions, carrying life along with them. From the myths of Egypt to Mesopotamia, India and Scandinavia, each holds an image of an ancient mystery, a magnificent force emanating from Saturn at the center of the heavens, shaping the destiny of humans on Earth. In the book of Genesis, there are 4 rivers in Eden that not only carry water but also have spiritual and life-giving significance. In Islamic mysticism, particularly in Sufi literature, 4 heavenly rivers are described, flowing with water, milk, honey, and wine. These rivers are mystical symbols representing divine blessings and 4 spiritual states: nature, vitality, knowledge, and love, which manifest during spiritual journeys. However, these rivers are not limited to contemporary religious narratives. As David Talbot examines in this work, the belief in 4 rivers flowing to the 4 corners of the world is found across many ancient civilizations. For instance, in the Navajo creation myths, the ancestral land is described as a place where the inhabitants were displaced by a great catastrophe. The first man and first woman lived there, and in the center of the land there was a spring with 4 branches, each flowing in one of the cardinal directions. In the Chinese paradise Kuen-Lun, there is a fountain adorned with pearls, jade, and precious stones, from which 4 rivers flow in 4 main directions. Similarly, in the Rig Veda of the Hindus, there is a reference to 4 rivers filled with water as sweet as honey by Indra. Talbot also delves into ancient Persian beliefs, discussing a Redvisura associated with 4 springs. Researching this leads to Anahita, the Persian goddess of water, purity, and fertility. In Babylonian mythology, Ishtar, considered equivalent to Anahita, was called the Lady of the Land of 4 Rivers. The Kalmyks, Buddhist Mongolic people of Siberian descent, speak of a sea of life and fertility from which 4 rivers flow toward the cardinal directions. The Mandeans of Iraq refer to 4 great rivers originating from the north, the same direction Talbot associates with Saturn's position in the ancient sky. The Egyptians also spoke of 4 branches of the Nile flowing to the 4 corners of the earth. In Greek myths, in the home of Calypso, daughter of Atlas and a goddess, there was a fountain from which 4 rivers flowed in the cardinal directions. The Edda, encompassing the myths of the Scandinavian people, describes 4 rivers flowing from the land of the gods to form the world's waters. In Slavic mythology, 4 rivers are said to emerge from beneath a magical stone called Alatuir in heaven. This motif of 4 rivers appears in Aztec, Mayan, and Polynesian beliefs, where mysterious rivers flow in 4 directions. It's not just Talbot who has delved into the discussions of shared myths across different civilizations about mythical rivers. Throughout history, there have always been those who tried to locate the legendary land that was the origin of these 4 mythical rivers. However, in the narratives we have, there is no mention of the location of this land, and all discussions are based on unverified theories. In Talbot's view, the reason is that these rivers did not flow on our Earth, but in the 4 directions of the original land, Saturn, and they can also be found in this symbol. 4 rivers originate from the center of the motherland, Saturn, and this very symbol later evolves into the form of a cross. The explanation goes further. From Saturn, the central sun of ancient civilizations, 4 rays of light emanated, which in myths were represented as 4 rivers. However, traces of this can also be found in narratives about the 4 winds, the 4 children of a king, or the 4 ministers in mythological tales. At the center stood the deity, or the primary sun, symbolizing the 5th element. This image, with the supreme deity at the center, surrounded by life forces in 4 directions, aligns with the mystical significance of the number 5 in many cultures. Talbot links this symbolism to Saturn, the supreme god. The ideal paradise in many mythologies reflects this image, the king at the center, with the 4 elements, fire, water, air, and earth, emanating to the cardinal directions. These elements were often personified as the god's four children, as seen in Egyptian myths, where creation begins with Atum's four brilliant offspring. They were also described as four winds, four blazing flames, or four powerful gods bringing life-sustaining water. Their symbol was a cross with equal branches, symbolizing the attainment of life. In Mesopotamia, the wheel of Shamash, the sun god, contains a similar symbol, depicting four rivers flowing from the central sun. In Hindu beliefs, there is also mention of a sacred land located at the center of a golden wheel, with the sun at the heart of this world. In one of the Vedic accounts, this wheel transforms into arrows that are shot in four directions to deliver the elements of life to various parts of the world. Each arrow is associated with one of the elements: water, fire, wind, and earth. You can find a similar interpretation in the beliefs of Native American tribes. For instance, the Omaha people speak of a deity residing at the center of the four main paths of the world, a place where the four winds meet. The Aztecs worshipped a god named Xiuhtecutli, referred to as the god of fire, whose name means very, very ancient. This lord of fire, who dwelled at the pole, was described as a white cross representing the four cardinal directions against the dark backdrop of the night sky. The symbol of the cross was also used by the Inca people, the indigenous peoples of Peru, and the Alaskan Eskimos to signify the supreme god. In particular, in Inca beliefs, the creator god, regarded as the supreme deity and the sun's master, illuminated the world from a fixed location. According to Talbot's findings, these characteristics align with the era of Saturn worship, when Saturn was considered the supreme god and the central sun of Earth. In Hawaiian mythology, the creator god Tive is described as emanating life in four directions. Like many other mythological deities attributed to Saturn, this god had a dual masculine and feminine nature, similar to Zurvan in Persian mythology. The Hawaiian people also described their supreme god as a radiant white light spreading in four directions, essentially depicting a cross. They referred to this god as the ancient lord of the sun, who sent the elements of life to the four corners of the world through the power of four subordinate gods. This symbol isn't limited to ancient writings, texts, or illustrations. Talbot also examines the works of researchers who, through the study of architecture and ancient city structures, have shown that there was a period when humans attempted to recreate their mythical celestial cities on Earth. He cites examples of cities in Sri Lanka, Burma, Cambodia, Thailand, and Vietnam, which were built in circular designs with the royal palace at the centre. Among these, he also mentions Persian cities in Iran such as Ekbatana, Darabgad, and Firuzabad, which were constructed in the shape of a cosmic wheel. In these cities, the walls were designed and calculated so that the main pathways radiated from the city's centre, transforming the city into a representation of the heavenly paradise reflected on Earth. Talbot also categorises gods described as having four eyes or four faces in the same group and links them to Saturn. He then discusses how civilizations associated the cardinal directions with specific colours and elements. For instance, the indigenous peoples of Mexico linked red and fire with the north, yellow and earth with the west, blue and air with the south, and green and water with the east. The centre was associated with all colours. Similar beliefs existed in Buddhism and Chinese traditions, where seasons and elements were also linked to the directions. Saturn was central, with Mercury, Venus, Mars, and Jupiter in the cardinal positions, a depiction that may not align with today's understanding of the solar system, but reflects ancient cosmological beliefs. A similar depiction can be found in Persian beliefs, based on Ferdinand de Saussure's findings, where Saturn, or Kivan, is at the centre, surrounded by four similar planets, though their positions differ. Talbot's discussions aim to demonstrate that the people of the ancient world recognised Saturn as the axis of the cosmos and believed it played a crucial role in determining their destiny. This concept is also echoed in ancient Persian beliefs and teachings, though a clear understanding of this belief has yet to be reached.